Good morning. Honorable Mayor Bronin, Superintendent Nevaez, board members, honored guests, students, parents, teachers, administrators, and all other staff. Good morning. Good morning. It is a great honor to host the 2016 Hartford Public Schools Welcome Back Convocation. I would like for all of us to observe a moment of silence as we mourn the loss of one of our students from Milner. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and the entire Milner community. Thank you. I am Gail Allen Green, the proud principal of Buckley High School grades 9 through 12. One of the original 3 high schools in Hartford. Hello? One of the original 3. This year, we will celebrate our 90th birthday, September 25th of this year. To start off, I asked Principal John Laverty to send me a few of his jokes. He said it would cost $50 per joke due to budgetary constraints. I'm sorry, but I don't have any jokes. I started my student teaching at Buckley High School, and I remember my first year of teaching in September 1980. So long ago. And now 37 years later, I am still enjoying what I do, helping students transform their world and lead productive lives in and out of school. And I have some words of inspiration. On your worst day, you are our students' best hope. Always bring your A game. Our students deserve it. Everyone can't do everything, but everyone, and I repeat, everyone in this room can do something to help our students transform their world. To our new teachers, listen to our veteran teachers. Don't be afraid to ask for help because there is value in our years of experience and wisdom. Now to our veteran teachers, you are never too old to grow or learn. Listen to our new teachers' ideas, thoughts, and different ways of doing things. And if you are a product of the Hartford public school system, please stand up. Thank you. So when many people doubt that we can't get it right, that was evidence. We get better together. All of our strengths are needed. That was a joke. That's not a joke. That was hashtag Team Burks. Last but not least, we have 180 days to improve our craft and make a positive difference in the lives of our students. 37 years and still smiling. Thank you. Let the convocation begin. I have the pleasure of introducing to you our amazing 2016 STEM Expo and Invention Convention winners who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Invention Convention finalists, Tiara Jones in the 3rd grade, Evan Zuli, Gifted and Talented Academy, Tierra was also one of only 25 students representing Connecticut at the national competition in Washington, D.C. STEM Expo winner, Angeles Cartagena, in the 5th grade at Burr School. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now, from Hartford Magnet Trinity College Academy, Senior Timothy Burton will sing our national anthem. Wow, you learn quickly, good.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Timothy. Timothy plans to attend college and major in musical engineering and voice. And again, like to thank Tiara Jones and Angeles Cartagena for the Pledge of Allegiance, as well as their parents. Thank you. I was looking for you. And now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing the Honorable Mayor Luke Brown.
Good morning, everybody. Principal Gail Allen Greens, thank you so much for this warm welcome, for inviting us all in here. She told me at the beginning of last year that if I came to 5 Buckley High School events, I'd be an honorary member of the Buckley High School community, and she just told me that I could count this one as my 5th, so I'm excited about that. Timothy Burton, that was beautiful. Thank you for that. And to Sierra and Angelis, thank you also for that noble rendition of the pledge and for leading us all. I wish we had I could wake up every morning to a drum line like that one from Canelli. That's better than 3 cups of coffee. And a fitting way to start out the new school year. Probably like a lot of you over the last week, I've gone to a whole bunch of back to school events. And it's amazing to watch the Hartford community come together to help get our kids ready for school. Backpack giveaways, so many organizations that have come together, the generosity of so many individuals and organizations helping our kids prepare, and I know so many of you have come out of pocket to help your kids prepare as well, and it's just an incredible expression of community support and community spirit. But what I really took away from that is I talked with dozens and dozens of kids at each of those events, and everyone I said, "Are you excited to go back to school?" And almost every single one said with a big smile on their face, "Yes!" So that means you guys are succeeding in what you do. And there is nothing more important than what you do. I hope you got a chance to rest and recharge this summer and come into this year ready again to start with a new class and to help plant the seeds of learning, of ambition, of hope, of belief in themselves. A quote I often share, as a friend of mine told me about 10 years ago, that Hartford has some of the greatest minds that the world will never know, which to me is both a difficult thing to hear and know to be true, but also an inspiring thing. And to look at it, you guys, there is nobody in a better position to change that. And with all the difficulties, all the challenges, all the tough budgets like Principal Alan Green joked about, all that stuff's real. But for the kids in your classrooms, you guys are the Hartford Public Schools. No matter what's happening in central office, no matter what's happening anywhere else, you guys are the Hartford Public Schools. And you have the chance, and I know you do it every day, to make sure that the kids in your classrooms know what they're capable of. That they know they're capable of sitting in your shoes someday or my shoes someday, that they can be doctors, or lawyers, or nurses, or teachers, or administrators, or anything they dream of. And when they get there, 10 years or 20 years down the line, it's going to be you that they remember. I was talking the other day with my mother-in-law, who just retired after 35 years of teaching. And she still has kids, I'm sure, same is true for so many of you, who she runs into or who call her back after 20 or 30 years and tell her it was your class that made that difference. And to the young teachers, the new teachers, that'll be probably the greatest reward for you. And to the older teachers who've been serving for a long time, I'm sure you already know that feeling. But I just want to say thank you for what you do, for your dedication, for your love, for your compassion, for your belief in the Hartford Public Schools and in the Hartford Public School students. And even as we will continue to go through some difficult times, and I will always try to be direct and honest about the challenges we face, I will never, ever forget the incredible commitment and sacrifices that you guys make and how important what you do is to our kids. So thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for getting ready and for everything you've done to help your kids get ready. To all of the administrators, to the members of the board who are here, to Chairman Rich Waring, to our Superintendent Beth Narvez, to all the teachers, administrators, parents, everybody who's a part of this. There is nothing more important. Thank you so much. Have a great year. Have a great week. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for everything you do for our city and for our kids. This is one of my favorite duties as chairman of the Hartford Board of Education. I get to say a few words to all of you because you are the people who make it happen every day. But it's also intimidating for me because I know less and I've done less than all of you ever will. So there's nothing I can tell you about education that you don't already know. So instead of trying, I'm just going to make an observation about teachers. I think some of you know my mom was a public school teacher for 40 years, and I've probably met hundreds of teachers in my life, and I think I have enough evidence to make some observations about what teachers are like and who they are. A good teacher, especially an urban teacher, is two things, either of which is uncommon, but together is very rare. The first of those is a realist. None of you could be as good as you are at what you do if you weren't realists. You understand the incredible needs of our kids, you understand the many obstacles to their success, and the long odds that many of them face. But as clear-eyed as you all are, you're also incurable optimists. You believe in our kids. You believe in their potential, you believe in their ability, and you believe in their future. For you, no obstacle is too difficult and no barrier is too high. Your duality is a metaphor for our city. We aren't there yet, and we know that. We know how far we have to go. Despite this, we know what we have, and we know that we have what it takes to change our city and our school system, to set them on a better path, and to build a new future. With your insight, your optimism, and your help, we will get there. Now I'd like to bring up the superintendent, Dr. Beth Narvaez. Like you, Dr. Narvaez is a teacher, and like you, she's both a realist and an optimist. And with you, she is going to work night and day for our kids and our future. Thank you.
Good morning. Happy New Year. You know, the start of this school year feels very different to me than the start of other school years. I think it's because we accomplished so much together last year, that we have so much momentum, that we are coming together, united as a community of educators behind a common vision that places our students at the center of all that we do. And because we saw how our work made a real difference for students in their academic achievement, their personal growth, in their dreams, even in their belief that they can realize their dreams. When I first came to Hartford in the summer of 2014, I referenced Marshall Gantz's story of self, story of us, and story of now. I shared my story, and I listened to your stories. We did that to build relationships and the foundation for the trust that is necessary for all of our work together. These were the stories of self. We got to know one another, and together we created a bold vision for the future of our children, a vision of children who will transform their world. Pretty bold, right? Bold visions make bold demands. They demand changes in mindsets and changes in practices, because that's what it takes to make changes in impact, to change futures. People from throughout the community, including many of you, listened, reflected, imagined, prioritized, committed, and ultimately captured our bold vision and our bold pathway to that vision in our strategic operating plan. The story of us. And that takes us to the story of now. The story of what we do in this place at this moment. How our journey to today intersects with the opportunities that lie before us. Our journey to today is defined by our skills, our relationships, our mindsets, our practices, our accumulated wisdom, and our willingness to learn and grow. The opportunities before us come in two varieties. Some opportunities are clear and simply have to be seized. Other opportunities have to be envisioned and created. Either way, embracing opportunity always requires a willingness to change, adapt, do things differently, and move out of our comfort zone. And that is why I am so excited to begin this school year. Because last year, I saw exactly that. I saw this district. I saw all of you embrace opportunity and embrace innovation. Our strategic operating plan asked and continues to ask a lot of you in the realm of innovating and seizing on opportunity. It asks you to set and hold all students to ever higher expectations. It demands that you engage all students in meaningful, differentiated ways that match their needs and meet their interests. It requires focus on the growth of each and every student and school. It challenges all of us, leaders, staff, school communities at large, to expand our capacity. It defines success as nothing short of equitable outcomes in which every student thrives and every school is high performing. Our strategic operating plan asks that we put students at the center of their learning with a focus on implementing student success plans that are truly meaningful to students, on advancing literacy for language as the foundation for helping students read, write, listen, speak, think, and lead, and in providing students with customized experiences to supplement and enrich their learning. Developing leaders to lead for learning is also a critical element of our strategic plan. Adult learning, school support networks. Remember, it's about collaboration, not competition. Family and community partnerships, and disciplined use of data and teams will help us usher in new forms of innovation that benefit our students. We asked a lot last year, and wow, did you respond? As you know, our strategic plan has 8 equity indicators that we believe best reflect our progress as a district. We have year-end data for 7 of those 8 indicators, and I am overjoyed to tell you this morning that thanks to you, to each of you, that we made progress on every single one of those 7 indicators. All right, get ready for this. In just 1 year, our college acceptance rate is already more than halfway to our 5-year goal. Nearly 95% of our graduating seniors were accepted into college. That is real progress. That is equity in action. In 2014-15, 76% of secondary school students had access to college and career readiness opportunities like advanced coursework and internship. Last year, that number climbed to 82%, again exceeding our goal. That is progress we should be proud of. This is equity in action. By raising, give yourselves a round of applause. You did this hard work. Great work. By raising awareness of the value of student success plans, sharing best practices, and making connections to caring adults, 15% more schools have adopted student success planning. That is progress. That is making a difference for our students. That is equity in action. Chronic absenteeism, a seemingly intractable challenge for so many years, decreased 18% last year, well ahead of our one-year goal. That is progress we should feel really, really good about. That is equity in action. After a dramatic reduction in out-of-school suspensions in 2014-15, we reduced out-of-school suspensions another 27% last year. Remember, I said we are not going to criminalize our children by using exclusionary discipline practices as our first resort. And thanks to your efforts, we are breaking the school-to-prison pipeline. That is remarkable progress. That is equity in action. In reading and algebra, where we would expect it would take a few years to see growth in our indicators, we saw it in year one, with forward movement in both our third grade reading and students passing algebra by the end of ninth grade. This is, again, very good progress, and this is the ultimate measure of equity. So that's quite a body of work, and in such a short period of time, and in the face of last year's distractions and challenges, I think it's fair to say that part of our story of now is a story of success. I am so proud of how our entire community, students, parents, teachers, leaders, community partners came together and collectively rose to this challenge. Because of our belief in possibility, rich opportunities and creative partnerships are emerging throughout the district. Due to our willingness to put a stake in the ground around what matters most, our children are reaping the benefits. It was a team effort. We are writing this story together. I especially want to thank you as teachers. You are closest to students. You are the inflection point of setting students on the path to success. You make the greatest difference in the lives of each and every student you touch. And you are doing phenomenal work. So, we advanced a bold vision. We co-created aspirational strategies, and we achieved year one success. We have begun equipping children with the skills they need to pursue their passion and lead their best lives. There is, of course, so much more to do. As we think about the upcoming year, I am reminded that our work is ultimately about helping students achieve their goals. During the student success planning process, we challenge our students to set ambitious goals. Here, through the voices of our middle and high school students, is a sampling of the goals they set for themselves. Get all A's and B's. Go to Manchester Community College and then attend Berkeley. Become a social worker because it feels good to help people. Move out west and become a trauma surgeon. Reconstruct myself to be less introverted. I am so impressed by these student goals. Everything from better grades to personal growth, from behavioral health to mental health, medical health, from attending community college to attending an elite college, or in the case of one student, both. Our students are dreaming big, and it is our responsibility to dream big right beside them. Dreaming big starts with asking the right questions. And going forward, I believe the questions are, how will we build on our success? What is our long-term path to sustainability? What opportunities can we identify, seize, or invent this year? What are the opportunities of now? It is in these answers to those questions that will define our story of now. Our highest priority for the 2016-17 school year is to focus relentlessly on our core business of teaching and learning. Building on all the new curricula implemented in reading and math these past 2 years, we will roll out a new algebra curriculum for 9th grade so that every student, no matter what high school they attend, will have access to the same high-level course. Another important equity move. There will also be new work in literacy at the upper elementary, middle, and high school levels, enhancing the foundation that was laid with our K-2 literacy program. In general, we will challenge our students with rigorous and relevant content at all grade levels in all schools, delivered in more engaging ways. Because while we've seen some forward movement in academic achievement, we have much farther to go before all of our students are meeting the new higher standards that they need to be successful both with us and beyond their time with us. The late Arlene Ackerman, the superintendent in Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and Philadelphia, one of my teachers, had a mantra, a core value really, that she would take everywhere she led. She would say, "Victory is in the classroom." Our focus this coming year has to be in the classroom, where we know our students will win if they are provided the right mix of challenge and support. I also believe that in order to accelerate progress and reduce variability in learning outcomes, we need to build upon and apply the learning from the early successes and innovations that were introduced last year. We will continue to nurture our centers of innovation in which magnet at high schools and neighborhood high schools collaborate around mastery-based learning, blended anytime, anywhere learning, and personalized learning. Central to this work is increasing the opportunity for student voice, helping them to direct their own paths and contribute to the larger conversations about our district, our schools, and our community. As JMA Junior Claire Faulkner noted in a recent blog post, the voices and opinions of students are often left out of the conversation when it comes to improving the education system. But not only do we deserve to be part of that conversation, we are vital to it. Claire is right, and we embrace her style of student voice. Our teachers and leaders will continue to develop new knowledge, new skills, and new approaches to collaboration. We will be inspired by the teachers at Buckley High School and JMA, Centers of Innovation Schools, who confronted uncertainty and vulnerability to take risks and master the use of technology and tools they have never used before to embrace blended, anytime, anywhere learning. You can clap at the shout-outs. There are more coming. We will be inspired by the teachers at MLK, an acceleration agenda school, who took the use of data and standards-based instruction to a whole new level, and who ultimately, great work. And who ultimately embedded rigor and urgency well beyond leadership's expectations. We will be inspired by the teachers at Burr, who came together to review the academic, social, emotional, family support, and health needs of every student, and who connected 41 high-needs students with meaningful in-school and out-of-school support in just the first 5 months as a City Connect school. Great work. And we will be inspired by teachers and leaders from throughout the district who had shifted their practices and learned from one another. At a recent board meeting, Dr. Wood, the instructional coach at Fred D. Wish Museum School, reflected on her experience implementing City Connects and acceleration agenda strategies. She said, "We entered into the process with a growth mindset. The current system needed improvement, and that the change involves systemic changes to better support students, families, and staff. We wanted a system where we not only knew every student's name, but also their needs, strengths, gifts, dreams, and families. As we commit to putting students at the center of their learning, we recognize that by knowing our students well and providing personalized opportunities to them, we can open doors that can be life-changing. Take the example of Ahmed Hassan. Just over 6 years ago, Ahmed moved to the United States from Egypt. This spring, he graduated from the Academy of Engineering and Green Technology. While there, he worked on many projects, such as the Lunar Rover Project, Nepal Project 2.0, and Earth and Apple Days. I see you, Green Tech. As he was thinking about his future, he acknowledged he didn't know what he wanted to do as a career. When he heard about the Hartford Student Internship Program, he jumped at the opportunity and secured a spot at United Technologies. He shared with us that his internship opened his eyes to new career options, such as mechanical engineering. Ahmed said that he is more prepared for college now because he is better at prioritizing his time, and now he has an understanding of what is available in the world of work. We should be so proud of Ahmed and recognize our role as educators, caring adults, and mentors in his life. This fall, Ahmed will make his mark as a student at UConn. We will deepen our use of restorative practices to address behavior challenges positively instead of punitively, to continue our dramatic reduction in out-of-school suspensions. The immediate next step, we will offer more training to more schools, and I think you will be amazed at the power of restorative practices. We also intend to expand the number of schools, helping to create Hartford's own model of family-friendly schools, to make our schools more welcoming and honoring our family's partnership with us in helping to know all children well in order to serve them well. Part of our family-friendly schools efforts last year involved hosting community conversations, one was held here, on race, equity, and cultural competence, which was attended by over 700 members of our community. Clearly, this is a topic that matters, particularly as we nurture our young people in a world that oftentimes doesn't value them enough. We plan to conduct more community forums that encourage and facilitate a candid dialogue about race, racism, and equity, and to continue our cultural competency learning in our internal HPS community so that there is no question that our students are loved and valued in our schools. And then there's our buildings. A beautiful, shiny, well-maintained building signals how much we value our students, our families, and our staff. Improving our infrastructure is paramount to creating a long-term path to sustainability. Every student in our district is entitled to attend a high-quality school in a building that is conducive to learning. Last year, we initiated Equity 2020 to create a long-term facilities and program plan. And during this school year, Equity 2020 will continue to develop a realistic plan for balancing our need for high-quality buildings and long-term declines in enrollment, and do so in a way that proactively incorporates input from staff and provides ongoing updates to our parents, community members, and staff. Make no mistake, this work will be challenging, and it will impact many members of our community across a number of schools. but you have shown you can take on the hardest challenges and exceed expectations, as you have shown in the results we got last year. We are all in this together, and we will need to lean on each other in order to turn this challenge into an opportunity. As we continue our voyage into a world of sustainability and new opportunities, we must continue doing three fundamental things: knowing our students well, tending to our own adult learning, and strengthening our trust in one another. Knowing students well is a cornerstone of our strategic operating plan. Knowing students well means understanding their needs, interests, strengths, learning styles, backgrounds, and aspirations. It means understanding students in an academic realm and a social-emotional level. It means understanding how to inspire them to pursue a passion, as well as when and how to effectively mediate a behavioral situation. It means understanding how they think and what they feel. True learning involves considering new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of doing things. That's what we ask our students to do, and it's what we must ask ourselves to do. If we really understand what students need and are truly committed to meeting those needs, then changing our mindsets to meet those needs follows naturally. Both at a system level and in the classroom, I understand that change is difficult. And so I commit that we will support you with well thought out strategies, highly organized implementation planning, and professional learning opportunities that lift you up and give you all the tools you need to truly put students at the center of their learning. We have difficult challenges ahead of us. Solving those challenges requires that we have a reservoir of trust in one another. We have made progress in this area, but trust building is a never-ending process. Trust has to be built constantly, but it can be undermined in an instant. Every member of our community who has a stake in our children's future, families, educational leaders, teachers, the community at large, must take accountability for trust building. We will take the lead by inviting and practicing true collaboration among all stakeholders. I see a new depth of collaboration among teachers across our district. My hope is that we will model that approach to collaboration throughout our community. The final ingredient in building on success, on establishing a path to sustainability, is urgency. We will embrace our work with urgency. Urgency can seem hard to muster when a goal seems out of reach. When success is elusive, urgency can become a casualty. But do you know when urgency really takes root? It's when those early signs of success appear. It's when a little momentum starts to build. It's when the realization forms that we can do this. That's when urgency is born. When we cease to think of our goals as being over the horizon and start to see them come into view, that's what ignites urgency. It's when we can see our future, and when that future is something that we like, that's when we feel the greatest urgency to get to our future, and without a moment to lose. That's where we are as a district, as a community of educators, parents, partners, supporters, and students. Early signs of success are giving way to an urgency to get to our future and to the future of our students as quickly as possible. Last year was a year of a pivot to bold action and significant progress. We have set the bar high for ourselves for this coming year, but we've also put the building blocks in place to reach that bar, to go over that bar. We know that children learn from our example. Our vision is that our students will transform their world. If they are truly to learn the value and the power of transformation, they have to see us engaged in our own transformation. And that is my big ask of you this year, to build on last year's work and continue to model the transformation we are asking of our students as we continue on our path to even greater success, as we seize with urgency the opportunity of now. Thank you very much. And now it is my honor to introduce our Teacher of the Year. I'm glad that I got to go before him. He always has very inspirational words. So let me give you a little brief introduction about this amazing teacher. Gary Lautrec has devoted his 27 years of professional career to teaching in Hartford, at Hartford Public High, Pathways to Technology, and now at Classical Magnet School. Mr. Lautrec fosters independence by helping his students be the best they can be, to struggle, to dream, and to achieve their goals. He loves the craft of teaching, allowing him to be creative, innovative, and reflective. He believes in making literature come to life, engaging students in inquiry-based learning, writing and reading workshops, seminars, and role-playing with literature. Mr. Lautrec thrives in his classroom and loves his students as they have made him a better teacher and a better person. I have seen Gary in action in his classroom, so I can attest that all of that is true, and it is my honor to welcome him up to give his remarks for this convocation. Gary Lautrec.
Hill. You got to tell those people who hustled out of here, they just missed a great applause. I want to thank Mr. Waring and Dr. Naves and Mayor Bronin, and they said a lot of the pieces that are true for all of us and that are part of what we are. You're coming back to a new school year where you'll make a difference. And it's funny because every morning, most every morning, I work out before school, and when we leave the gym, we're leaving, and one of my friends always says, make a difference. And he means it. But that's exactly what we do. We make a difference in the lives of our children, in our students. Unappreciated, oftentimes blamed for the poor economy. Everyone else knows more about teaching than us in education, so they tell us how to do it. We have to remember, we don't do it for them. We do it for the students in front of us. And the irony is, the real irony is, it benefits everyone. Remembering this is important because it's the only way we're going to be able to stay positive. That I want to be remembered too, as the Teacher of the Year with one of the shortest convocation charges ever, so you can get back to your classrooms. I've been telling my pals, I said, they offered me 10 minutes to speak. If I take 10 minutes the day before school starts, I'm going to have some trouble in the parking lot. But being remembered is what we are, and it was referred to as well, I believe by Mayor Bronin, that you remember the teachers that had an impact on you. And right now, as I said that, somebody just flashed that person's face or name, the grade, why you remembered them. You are going to be the memory 20 years or 30 years from now when your students are asked, what was your favorite teacher? What teacher had the greatest impact? Who was important to you as a teacher? And just the other day, I'm at a meeting, and Jackie Nardi came up to me and goes, I gotta tell you something, I gotta tell you. I bumped into a Hartford grad, and I'll make a long story very short. Turned out he had me senior year, and he said, Mr. Lodgok is my favorite teacher because I wasn't really great. I didn't like learning all that. I wasn't into it, but he loved what he did so much that I wanted to love it too. And I'm not saying that to sing my own praises. That's our story. That's what we do, and that's what you hear. And several of you already hear these kind of things. But what a way to start the year, at a PD before the year starts. And like, I'll do that. I'm going back. But you will be their memory. They're going to be saying, I remember Mr. Tucker or Mr. Abate or Ms. Klaus or Mr. Rizzo, and how hard they worked us and how much I learned in their class. And Miss Brancotti, Ms. Wilson, or Mr. McHugh for using humor and making class enjoyable while we were there. I remember Mr. Hill, Mr. Lestini, Mr. Pernetta, how they made us write, and they loved literature. I remember, insert name here, Miss McCutcheon, Miss Avesi, Ms. DeVerne, Cahill, Danino, DeCorsia, you name it. How they made me feel, and how they made me feel important and part of something, and how I felt special in their class. You're going to be that memory. When I thought about this too, about the memories, then someone said, well, it's going to be inspirational, and all my pals going, you're going to be funny, right? I'm not that funny. It's going to be, we can't wait till you speak, well, just for what it is, right? But then I thought, it's not really about inspiration. It's more about realization. A realization of what teaching really is, as was alluded to already, and who we really are. So a few realizations. Realize just how important you are to your students. Oftentimes, you're the calm in their day. You're their security, their counselor, their mentor, sometimes their pal. Your words can make or break their self-worth. Your smile can change their whole day. Realize how instrumental you are in who these children will become, as you heard some of those stories before. That you're not just preparing them for the next skill, the next assessment, the next grade, but for everything they're going to do from here on out, in school, in life. You are providing them the tools with which to be good people, make wise choices, and make this world a better place. Realize, it's not worth all that. Realize just how much you give of yourself to your students. Yes, money, but time, energy, commitment, dedication, your talents every single day. Realize that you have chosen to dedicate your lives to helping others. My minister once said, I try to live my life to help other people's lives be better. That's what you do. Every day. It's a job. Sure, it's a job. It's one you come into and you got to work hard over nights, weekends, summer times. You got to think about it all the time. You can't drive down the doggone road without hearing a newscast going, I can use that in my class. You read a newspaper article, that'll help that kid who doesn't really understand. You dedicate yourselves to helping others. And it's a beautiful way to spend your life. You give legs to their dreams and give them greater opportunities, and realize that we have absolutely wonderful jobs. Look at the people we work with, alongside you, in front of you, the support of administration and all that works together to help children, to help you help children. We have beautiful jobs. We help influence their development, educationally, but psychologically, socially, emotionally. We get to help them become who they're going to become. And what a beautiful task that is. So these realizations are our inspiration. And I have 4 suggestions, without any explanation. You can figure them out. 1, have some fun in the classroom. All right, I'll explain this one because learning doesn't have to be doom and gloom and testing and the next skill and what's happening next. If you can have fun while teaching and learning, that's the best engagement strategy going. They're going to be on your side in a heartbeat. 2, and listen to this one, because most of you do this already, but sometimes it's challenging and harder with others. Enjoy every student for what he or she brings to the classroom. Every student. 3, and this is a life piece that's really challenging, and I've been working on it only for about 25 years, and I'm still not very good at it. Enjoy every moment for what it is. Be in that moment. If there's a student in front of you, be with that student. You're teaching a lesson, teach that lesson. Don't worry about what you didn't do last week or what you might not do next week or what someone may say about. Be in that moment and you will be pure. And finally, remember who you are and what you do. Thank you all so very much for all you have done and all you will do for your peers, your school, Hartford Public Schools, and most importantly, your students. Now I'm going to introduce the Kinsella Beats, and I want you to have let me get my last line in. I just want my last line, Kinsella. I know you're artsy people, but calm down. Have a great year. Be well each and every day. Enjoy every moment for what it is, and God bless you all. Thank you.
to